There is a moment in life when someone looks you in the eyes, smiles at you, and then turns around and destroys everything you ever built. I know that moment. I lived it. My name is Diana, and for 7 years I gave everything I had to a woman I called my best friend, my business partner, my sister in every way that mattered. We built our interior design firm from scratch. Late nights, early mornings, sacrificed vacations, relationships, and rest. Every single brick of that company had my fingerprints on it. Her name was Cassandra. Beautiful, polished, the kind of woman who walked into a room and made everyone turn their heads. She had a charm that made clients trust her instantly. And I trusted her too, completely, without question. That was my first mistake. We were 50-50 partners, on paper at least. But over the years, I noticed something shifting. The meetings she started having without me, the clients who suddenly only called her, the contracts that came back with her signature alone. I told myself it was nothing, that I was overthinking, that 7 years of friendship meant something. But what I didn't know that day, the day she handed me a coffee and asked me to review a new contract, was that she had already been planning my removal for over a year. I signed that document without reading every line. She sat across from me, calm as still water, watching me write my name. Later, I would learn that buried in that agreement were clauses that quietly, legally, transferred my decision-making power to her. Clauses that gave her the right to buy me out at a price she determined. Clauses that essentially made me a guest in the company I helped build. The day she filed the lawsuit to push me out of the firm, I was in my kitchen making breakfast. I got a message from our shared attorney. Except he wasn't our attorney anymore. He was hers. The papers arrived by courier at 9:17 in the morning. I remember the time because I stood there, holding them, watching the clock on the wall like it could tell me this wasn't real. She wasn't just pushing me out. She was erasing me. And she had done it with a smile on her face. That morning, I sat down on my kitchen floor. Not because I was weak, but because something inside me needed a moment to understand what kind of person could do this. What kind of cold, calculated cruelty it takes to look at someone who loved you and choose to destroy them anyway. I cried for exactly 40 minutes. Then I got up, washed my face, and made a phone call. The courtroom felt nothing like I imagined it would. I had pictured myself shaking, nervous, small. But when I walked in that first day and saw Cassandra sitting at the opposing table in a tailored cream blazer, looking composed, untouchable, almost bored, something inside me went very quiet. Not the quiet of fear, the quiet of focus. Her attorney spoke first. He painted a picture of a company that Cassandra had single-handedly saved from collapse. He said I had been absent, distracted, that my contributions had been minimal in recent years, that the business had only survived because of her leadership. Every word landed like a stone thrown at glass. And then Cassandra stood up. She looked directly at me when she spoke. Not at the judge. At me. Like she wanted to see my expression as she dismantled my reputation in a room full of strangers. She said I had been emotionally unstable, that I had made poor decisions that cost the company clients, that she had protected me, covered for me, carried me, out of loyalty, for years. She said the word loyalty like she owned it, like it was hers to use. The judge, the attorneys, the court reporter, everyone in that room heard her describe me like I was a burden she had finally grown too tired to carry. I felt my face flush. My hands were ice. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. But what Cassandra did not know, what she could not have known, was that I had spent the last 4 months doing something she never expected from the woman she had dismissed as emotionally unstable. I had been collecting everything. Every email, every contract, every financial record that showed the real story. I had hired a forensic accountant who found something extraordinary buried in 3 years of company books. Payments. Small ones at first, then larger. Transfers from the company account into a private account in Cassandra's name alone. Money that never appeared in any report she showed me. Revenue from clients I brought in, quietly siphoned away over time. She hadn't just pushed me out. She had been stealing from us. From me. And my attorney, a quiet woman with sharp eyes who never raised her voice, had organized every single piece of that evidence into something the court could not ignore. When it was my turn, I didn't look at Cassandra. I looked at the judge, and I spoke clearly.
The ruling came on a Thursday. I remember standing outside the courthouse after, in the cold November air, and feeling something I hadn't felt in months. Stillness. Real stillness. Not numbness. Peace. The judge ruled in my favor. Not just on the ownership dispute, but on the financial misconduct. The transfers were ruled fraudulent. Cassandra was ordered to repay every dollar, with damages. The company, my company, was returned to me with full controlling interest. Her legal team immediately began discussing settlement terms. But the moment I will carry with me forever was not the ruling. It was the moment before we left the courtroom, when Cassandra finally looked at me, not with cruelty, not with composure, but with something raw and broken in her eyes. She opened her mouth, like she was about to say something. An explanation, maybe, or an apology. I held her gaze for exactly 3 seconds. Then I turned and walked out. Because some things don't deserve a response. Some chapters deserve a closed door, not a conversation. People ask me sometimes if I hate her, if I wanted to see her suffer. The honest answer is no, not anymore. What I wanted was the truth to be told. I wanted the record to reflect what actually happened. That a woman worked for 7 years to build something real, and another woman tried to take it and call it her own. I wanted the world to know, not for revenge, but for dignity. For every version of me who sat on a kitchen floor wondering if I had imagined the betrayal. I didn't imagine it. It was real, and it was documented. I rebuilt the firm. Slowly, carefully, with people who deserve to be part of it. Today it is thriving. And every morning when I walk through the door, I think about what it cost me to keep it. Here is what I know now. The people who betray you with the most confidence are usually the ones who counted on you being too kind to fight back. Be kind, but keep records. Trust people, but read every line. Love fully, but never let anyone rewrite your story. I am Diana. This company was built by my hands. And no one, not a lawsuit, not a lie, not a woman in a cream blazer, could ever take that from me. The truth, when it finally speaks, doesn't need to shout. It just needs the room to be quiet enough to hear it.